Are your kitchen and bathroom way overdue for a remodel? Well, I got the guy for you. Call John Sellers at First Response Contracting, 484-256-7136. Both residential and commercial services, and he's licensed and insured. Call him at 484-256-7136. First Response Contracting.
From real estate to real life and everything in between. The Brad Weisman Show. And now, your host, Brad Weisman.
Wow, what an introduction. Thank you, Jason. Jason has such a great voice, I got to say. The guy that did that just blows my mind. So, if you remember, a couple weeks ago, we had a guy in the studio. His name was Aaron Thompson. He was through streaming, and he is an Afterlife researcher. But the reason we're covering him is because he's now becoming a realtor. So I want to welcome you back to the show, and we are going to talk more about how his journey is going. What's up, Aaron? How you doing?
Hey, Brad. Thanks so much for having me back on.
Yeah, no problem.
Super stoked, super appreciative of being a guest, of course, on your show. And congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate it. And we're trying to get our cadence. This is the second show of the Brad Weisman Show, and I'm just trying to get that cadence down. Like, I'm so used to going, hi, this is Brad Weisman. You listen to real estate. So just trying to get that down. I'm getting it. I'm getting the cadence. So, yeah, so you were on before. We talked about what you were doing then. You did the 28 Days Haunted with Netflix. You were going to do some ghost stuff or some afterlife stuff when we talked. You were gone that weekend. I think you were up in Maine or Vermont or somewhere.
Yeah, Massachusetts. That weekend, and actually in a couple of days I'll be in Michigan. Keynoting a event, or at least one of the big speakers at a pretty large ghost hunting event or paranormal event.
Good. That's awesome. So, okay. Yeah. So let's jump into the real estate thing. That's why we're here. So you contacted me about becoming an agent, and you wanted to change or add to your career choices here. How's it been going? You're now on the point of doing all the classes, right?
Yeah, I'm on the classes right now.
And how are you finding those classes?
It's a lot more complex. I assumed the world of realty has its complexities, of course, right? But just really digging in to the books and the studies and just the different terminologies that's utilized, it gives me a huge amount of respect, for those who hold the license and out there practicing actively. It's pretty awesome. That's a good word to use, I feel.
But is it discouraging you, or are you feeling like you made a mistake getting into this new career? Or are you thinking, oh, okay, I like this. I like where it's going.
I like this. I love where this is going.
Okay, good.
It absolutely fits. It fits my mindset, my, work ethic and behavior of the hustle of pushing forward and making things happen and helping people. This is a perfectly tailored pivot or career move for me.
Yeah.
I'm totally stoked with the adventure, and even seeing all this training in the classes. Honestly, it's motivated me even more.
Cool. Very cool.
Just because of how there can be complexities within the niche of real estate.
Yeah. What's interesting about that, we actually have a term in Keller Williams called the language of real estate. They call it lore. And you'll probably learn more of that stuff as you go along. But if you'll notice, it's like learning a different language because of the terms that we use, because of the things that we say, we do, things like that. It's like a different language. It really is. So when do you think you're going to be taking a test?
I'm sorry.
First cat ever on the podcast. Hugo, you can't hear it. You don't. The cat. You can hear it.
A fairly needy cat.
Oh my gosh,
everyone.
Oh my gosh, what's the cat's name?
Socks.
Very good. Very good cat name. I like that.
So you'll never guess why.
Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So she's
a good cat.
So when do you think you're going to be taking this test?
Honestly, I'm on schedule. If not by the end of next week, early week after. So less than 2 weeks.
Wow. So you're on the fast track.
Yeah. And there's a lot more too. I honestly expected to do it even quicker. But when I got into it, I realized there's a lot to this. Pace myself and just kind of take that data in as appropriate.
Amazing. So you're looking to actually start selling houses would be in December or end of November.
December 1st has always been my, in my brand, even since mid 2023, when I'd finally push action towards this adventure. December 1st was always the number that I wanted to aim for. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the exceeding number.
Right.
Realistically, what that tells me is I want to be in it before the new year.
Sure.
Before 2024 hits. So to me, that's the month before early. So December 1st is kind of my target, so I can achieve that.
Gotcha. That's
more
good.
Realistic.
We were talking about your thing, what you do now, which is the afterlife researching. Do you think that you're going to put those kind of things together? Do you think when you go to list a house that you might like say, hey, you know what, I'm feeling something, or are you going to bring that up that you do that? Are you going to say, hey, I'm the realtor that can, get your skeletons out of your closet? I mean, are you going to use that in your marketing somehow?
Good. I could. I don't want to lean against it. I want to go with it.
Yeah.
So, people Google me, they're going to see this thing that I do. It's, it's on Netflix. It's, and years of me being in the media in one form or another. So I don't want to be scared of this narrative that I'm very comfortable with. And I think it'll be fun to have someone, like me leaning into the, either through marketing, either goofy or serious, or I can pull back.
Right.
And let's say on a more serious note, let's say there is someone who's more spiritual going into a house. They really like this house, but there's something that happened there that wasn't comfortable at all.
Right.
And they're very, very concerned. They don't want to get the house because of this, or at least that could be a big attribute of them not getting it and walking away. Well, someone like me, I can go in there and explain to them that energy, at least with my history, energy itself is applied by humans, by us.
Yeah.
So we can get this bad energy out, and we can apply your new energy in your home and keep that sustained and grow, let that grow with you.
Gotcha.
So we got to plant that healthy seed of that new energy, which is very.
That's cool. That's very cool. And I think that's good because, a lot of times when things, you could specialize in properties that people do think something's going on, and I think that'd be good because that's like a niche, that's definitely a niche business right there.
In historical homes too, I find myself in historical locations.
Yes, yeah.
For over 20 years now, I'm just doing what I do. So I feel comfortable in those older locations as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not, my whole narrative, if we want to do just a regular new construction sell, of course I'll be there for that. But yeah, I think I can really lean more towards that taboo community. And I know a lot of folks who, in my world, who come and visit me and shake my hand at these events I go to and I speak at, that they're on board with the idea of someone like me that's not scared of the ghostly narrative.
No, I think it's awesome. It's definitely a niche there because obviously when we talk about, energy and afterlife and ghosts and whatever you want to call them, I mean, that stuff typically happens in buildings. It's not like it's happening, outside in the street. It's usually in homes. It's in buildings. It's in, a lot of times historical properties. They talk about it all the time. We were just down in Cape May this past weekend. We talked about it then. We talked, there's a whole ghost tour you can do in Cape May. Those buildings those houses are from like the mid 1800s. So that there's stories and things that go on.
Well, you got to think, where do we as humans apply a lot of our big emotional beats, like our really extreme moments, our passion, our attachment? It's to those houses, those largest purchases that we make in our life.
Absolutely.
It means something to us.
Listen to him. He's talking the lingo, the largest purchases of our life. You are definitely, I can tell you're listening to, and by the way, your social media, you're doing a lot of social media right now. People should look you up. It's Aaron Thompson. He's got some really cool, clever social media bits he's doing on Instagram and on Facebook that are very actually, they're catchy, Thank you. I think you're doing a good job with that. And I think that's going to really help you.
Fuse both of them together, respectively.
Absolutely. And it seems to be working too. What do you think about all the paperwork that we have to do in real estate? I mean, you probably didn't realize we have all this paperwork to do.
So it's funny you mentioned that. I was actually just before we got on with one another, I was just looking up assistants.
Yeah. Oh, you were looking up assistant. Like, oh, that's funny.
I was even going, do they have any like AI assistants? Which they have a couple coming out. I know that's like
virtual assistants are virtual assistants would be the one that you can do. I mean,
exactly.
They're great.
A lot of people. Philippines, I guess, have a good.
Yes, and they're fantastic. I mean, they do a really good job, and they don't. Most industries, I think today have some virtual assistants that are available, and I'll tell you, they do a nice job. They really do.
And the thing, my strong point, of course, is being in front of the people and selling the property, and even marketing in some degree. And just being out there and speaking at events and going to open houses and being present is really where my strength is. I can do the paperwork. I've managed offices before, so that's not an issue. It's just not my
I got
favorite thing to do.
Totally get it. I don't do much of it either.
I love the paper,
And I have an actual virtual assistant. Well, it used to be virtual assistant. Now she's actually in my office here. So it's the best, man. Transaction coordinators are the best. All right. So is there anything else before we end this segment here? Because we're going to come back to you after you pass the test. I want to talk to you. Well, hopefully, here's the thing. We want to jinx it, but you're going to have to pass the test before December 1st. I mean, that's just the way it is. Because if you don't, we're going to have a show. It's going to be called "He Didn't Pass the Test," and that wasn't something that we thought we were going to do. Yeah, we should actually do you live taking the test, and that would be really stressful. What do you think about that? He'll be sweating. Oh my God, it'll be terrible.
Luckily, they probably won't let you take cameras in.
No, there's no cameras allowed in there. It's pretty strict. So tell me,
I can reenact it though.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. But we hope you pass. Obviously, we want you to pass because we want to keep the story going. But what else? Is there anything else before we end the show that you're getting into it and you're going, wow?
Everyone follow me and let's start connecting on at Tisme Aaron G. I'm just prepping for my new adventure and thankful for Brad being associated with me, being in my world. Yeah. And I'm excited. I'm excited to keep hitting those challenges of the school. This is the real deal, guys.
Yeah, it is.
Becoming a realtor.
And also, tell everybody where you're at. Where are you at, like as far as location, country?
So I'll be based out of the Quad Cities, which is on the border of Illinois. So I'm getting my Illinois license first, and then I'm getting my Iowa license back to back. Right. The nice thing from what I understand, and this is me being raw and real, and what I understand, what I was told is I'm getting my Illinois license first because it's one of the more difficult states to achieve that, I guess, longer exam. And then after that, I will go to, and it's all at home. And after that, I go to Iowa and do theirs. And since I completed a lot of the achievements on Illinois side, a lot of that transfers over.
Correct.
So it's a shorter time frame.
Yes.
To get to the exam.
Yep.
So
the way it works, a lot of places, like we have reciprocating states too. Like Maryland is a reciprocating state for us. We can actually just fill out some paperwork and we can be a Maryland agent.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. And that might be a little bit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to see you after you passed your test. So we're going to keep you to that. It's going to be December 1st. We'll be with you sometime after your test. So after you take your test, you're going to let us know you passed, and then we're going to have you back on here. How's that?
Cool. I look forward to it.
Awesome, man. Great for being on here. Thank you so much, man. I'll take care.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right, there you have it. Aaron Thompson, he is kicking butt. The guy's like almost done with his test or almost ready for his test, and he just started doing things. So it's pretty amazing. So we're gonna have him back after he passes the test, and we're gonna have him here. We're gonna put him in the hot seat, and he's gonna tell us all about it. And he better pass before December 1st, or we'll have to call it some other show. So it won't work out so well. All right, thank you so much for watching the Brad Weisman Show. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. All right, take care. Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136.